The cool thing is we have the ability to start to screen who is allowed to sit on our mental board of directors. And as we start to become discerning about who is allowed to occupy a position on our mental board of directors, we then start to feel more confident inside, and we start to feel more empowered to take bold, courageous action.
Welcome to The Art of Speaking Up, a podcast that helps professional women access the limitless potential that lies within them. I'm your host, Jessica Guzik, and my mission is to help you find that spark inside you that has the power to transform your career in ways you may not have thought possible. I'm so excited that you're here. And now, on to the show.
Welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for being here and tuning in. I'm Jess. I'm the host and creator of the Art of Speaking Up podcast, a prior executive in the corporate space, and a current coach for women. We are here to help you feel more confident about yourself, elevate into leadership, develop a super powerful verbal communication style, and evolve into a version of you that you feel really proud of. And what we're talking about in today's episode really gets to the heart of you evolving into that stronger, more confident version of you, because we are talking about mindset work. Mindset work is one of the most powerful ways that I have personally found to build a lasting sense of self-confidence. And the way I think about confidence is that it's not something that we just wait to passively happen to us. Like, we can't just wait around and hope to start feeling more confident. We actually get to play a proactive role in doing the inner psychological work that will help grow our confidence. And this is a wonderful thing because it means that when it comes to you feeling more confident about yourself, it's not a game of luck or a game of just hoping that your confidence starts to grow. It's really a situation where you get to proactively catalyze building and growing the confidence. And that's what we are doing together in today's episode. So in today's episode, we're going to do mindset work together, which I feel so excited about. Mindset work is one of the main modalities that I am doing and using when I'm supporting my clients. And all mindset work means is that you're going beneath the surface to try to create change within yourself at a psychological and emotional level. Because so often when people want to change, their default is they focus on behavioral change, right? So I want to speak up more in meetings. I want to have a more polished voice in the room. I want to demonstrate stronger leadership skills in my role. We tend to often focus on the behaviors, and we don't always realize that we can go one level beneath the behaviors and we can focus on our emotions and the thoughts that we have about ourselves and the environment around us. And often, when we focus on those internal layers and we focus on shifting our thoughts about ourselves and becoming more resilient in the face of difficult emotions, then all of those empowering behaviors that we are wanting to take, like speaking up more and taking up more space, those behaviors start to follow naturally and organically, because through that deeper psychological work that we do, we start to feel stronger. We start to feel more confident, and those big, bold actions start to feel more accessible to us. They start to feel more doable to us because we are getting stronger inside. It's literally similar to physical strength, where if I don't have a lot of physical strength, I might be really scared of a certain weight on the barbell. But as my muscles get stronger, when I look at that weight, instead of me thinking, oh, like that's so heavy, there's no way I could possibly pick that up, I'm not even going to try, I can look at that exact same weight and be like, oh, I can pick that weight up for sure, right? So it's the same psychologically. When you get stronger psychologically, you look at the action that you want to take outside in the world, and suddenly it seems more achievable. It seems more possible, and you're able to show up and take big, bold actions that maybe you weren't ready or able to take before. So that is what we are doing. And if that is the type of growth that you want, you are going to love today's episode. I'm going to be sharing a really simple analogy just for learning purposes. And then after I share the analogy, we're going to dive deep into some really powerful shifts that are going to help you build internal psychological strength and internal confidence. And I'm even going to give you a peek into my own mindset and some of like the negative thoughts and mindset gremlins that I have had to work through and that I currently work through as they pop up day to day, because mindset is often an ongoing practice versus a one-time thing. So I am really excited to dive in. My goal for this episode is for you to experience transformation. And before I get into the analogy and before we go deeper, I want to share one quick announcement, which is that enrollment for my signature group program, the Art of Speaking Up Academy, is coming up. So the Art of Speaking Up Academy is for you if you're at a place where you really want to evolve into a more confident version of you. You want to learn how to articulate your thoughts and ideas with polish and self-confidence, and you really want to become a more assertive, impactful voice in the room at work. Inside this program, I guide you through a curriculum that covers both the practical tools and the deeper mindset and emotional tools that you need to learn to express yourself with genuine confidence so that you can make the impact that you know you are meant to make in your career. If you are ready for that level of transformation, add yourself to the waitlist so that you are first to find out when doors open. Historically, this program has filled up quickly, so the absolute best way to make sure that you are in the know is to get on the waitlist by clicking the link in the show notes or going to jessguzikcoaching.com/academy. I'm still finalizing the enrollment dates. They're going to be around the end of September, most likely. But if you're on the wait list, you don't have to worry because you are going to be first to find out when those dates are set and when enrollment is open. So head to the show notes to make sure that you are on the wait list. And now I want to share a brief analogy for teaching purposes in today's episode. So here's the analogy. So I want you to imagine that there's a CEO named Amy. And Amy is the CEO of a large global company. Now, this company that Amy runs is big and it's successful, but in the past several years, the company has been pretty stagnant in terms of its revenue. And Amy really wants to help the company grow. So she identifies a growth opportunity for her company. She finds a geographic location where her company isn't currently operating and selling their products. And there's also very little competition in that geographic region. She gets super excited because if her company can be first to market in that new region, that's a huge opportunity for revenue growth. So Amy puts together a proposal for entering into this new geographic market, and she brings that proposal to her board of directors. She feels super excited to bring it to them because it's such a lucrative opportunity. But when she walks them through the proposal, they reject it and they tell her no. And they give Amy two big reasons why they are rejecting her proposal. The first reason that they give is that they're worried that the company is going to make all this investment and all this effort to expand and that it's not going to yield the return that Amy is hoping. And they don't want to lose all of that money. The second reason that they give for rejecting the proposal is that in the prior fiscal year, Amy had shared a very different expansion proposal that they said yes to and that didn't end up working out. And they tell Amy that they're afraid that this is going to happen again and that they are not comfortable moving forward with the proposal that Amy has shared. So in this situation, let's assume that she literally cannot move forward with this expansion without getting approval from her board of directors. So Amy is super disappointed and super frustrated, and she's also stressed out because with this particular opportunity, the sooner that she seizes the opportunity, the more likely she is to succeed because it's a market where there's not a lot of competition, and she wants the company to be the first competitor in that market so they can scoop up all of the customers in that market. So the weeks and months are going by, and she's kind of looking to see, like, is one of our competitors going to enter into this market and grab all of this incredible opportunity? And as time goes by, it's not happening yet, but she starts to feel concerned that the window of opportunity is going to close. Now, at the same time, I want you to imagine in this fictional scenario that it is time to re-elect the board of directors. And let's just say, for the sake of this example, that Amy, as the CEO, gets to decide if she wants to keep her board of directors or if she wants to fire them and hire new members of the board. Amy is still really eager to expand into this new geographic market. She still thinks that it's going to succeed and that it's a huge opportunity. And there still hasn't been a competitor that's made a move into this market. And it is time for Amy to decide, do I keep my existing board members or do I fire them and get new ones? So my question to you is, what should Amy do? What should she do in this situation? And what would you do if you were her? So I want to walk you through my thought process on this. And then most importantly, we're going to talk about what this means for you, because there's a super important and powerful lesson in this. My thoughts on this are that Amy needs to get rid of this board of directors. Yes, maybe she tried an expansion opportunity in the past and it didn't go well and it failed, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this opportunity that is right in front of her is also going to fail. She has identified what she believes is a chance for the company to achieve meaningful growth, and her current board of directors doesn't support and see the vision. They're being super conservative about it. They're being a little bit pessimistic about it. They're clinging onto a mistake or a failure that happened in the past. And that clinging onto the past and that pessimism is blocking Amy from not just the expansion that she wants the company to experience, but from the legacy that she wants to create as CEO. So if Amy really believes in her vision and she really believes that this opportunity is possible and can totally work out, it is in her best interests to replace this board of directors, because they're blocking her from taking the action that is going to create the outcome that she wants. And I think all of us can kind of imagine an assertive CEO, an assertive executive. They would never want to put up with a board or an approval committee that isn't supporting their vision. If they were able to, they would want to find a way around it so that they could make the moves that they want to make and achieve the results that they're trying to create as a leader. Now, the reason that I'm sharing this example with you is because it's a really powerful way for us to understand and dig into the topic of mindset together. So just like Amy has this board of directors that either approves or disapproves her decisions, the way that I think about it is that we as humans have a board of directors that lives in our minds. And I literally want you to imagine like a little miniature table with little miniature humans sitting around at the table. And that miniature table with those miniature humans is in your mind. It is inside your brain. And all of the thoughts that you have about yourself and about what actions you should take and about how capable you are, instead of thinking of those as your thoughts, I want you to think of those as all of the different voices of your internal board of directors. You have a board of directors in your mind, and they are constantly sharing their thoughts and opinions with you. And just like in the case of Amy, if she has a supportive board of directors, she can take big, bold action and achieve big things. But if she has an unsupportive, negative board of directors, she can't, and she gets stuck and blocked. Similarly, if the board of directors that you have in your mind is encouraging and optimistic and visionary and supportive, then you will find it much easier to take big, bold actions in your day-to-day job and to make bets on yourself and to believe in yourself and to show up big and take up space. But if you have a negative, pessimistic board of directors in your mind, then just like Amy, you're going to get stuck and blocked. You might have a great idea. You might have a vision for how you want to show up and behave. But as soon as you seriously entertain that idea, your internal mental board of directors shuts it down and blocks you. And the reason that I love this analogy and I love this example so much is because we can understand that an executive would never want to allow people to get in their way and block them from taking the actions that are going to benefit their company and also help them create the legacy that they want to create in their career. Like if we think of an assertive, determined CEO or executive, they would never allow a board of directors who is negative and unsupportive to just sit on the board election after election. Like if it was in their power to fire those board members, they would do something about it. They wouldn't just let that happen and drag on. And yet so often when it comes to our own growth, we have all of these negative perspectives and voices in our minds, and we have all of these negative, quote unquote, directors on our mental board of director, and we let them take the wheel for far too long. We let them drive our decision making. And something that I find so empowering is to step back and think about who is allowed to have a seat on your mental board of directors. What types of voices and perspectives are allowed to chime in and have decision-making power when you are deciding how you want to show up day to day at work? Do you want to fill your mental board of directors with voices that are negative and pessimistic and focused on the things that didn't work out in the past? And do you want your decisions and the approval for your decisions to be in the hands of those perspectives and voices? Or do you want a mental, quote unquote, board of directors that's filled with voices and perspectives that believe in you and that are visionaries and who have faith in what you're capable of doing and accomplishing? Because just like the board of directors is going to determine whether or not Amy creates the legacy that she wants to create, similarly, the thoughts that you have in your mind and the perspectives that are being thrown around at the board of directors meeting that is always happening in your mind is going to determine what you are able to accomplish. And the cool thing is we have the ability to start to screen who is allowed to sit on our mental board of directors. And as we start to become discerning about who is allowed to occupy a position on our mental board of directors, we then start to feel more confident inside and we start to feel more empowered to take bold, courageous action. Just like Amy, the CEO, needs a powerful, positive, visionary board of directors to support her and the things that she wants to accomplish. You need a powerful, supportive, visionary board of directors in your mind to believe in you and the things that you want to accomplish. So if you are on board with this idea, I want to invite you into another step of this with me. And I want us together to do an audit of your board of directors. I want us to look at who is on your current, quote unquote, mental board of directors. Is there anyone sitting on there who needs to be fired because their negative perspective is getting in the way of what you want to accomplish? And then I want you to look at who do you want to bring in? And then I want you to look at who is your ideal mental board of directors. If you could have whatever perspectives and voices you wanted on there, what types of perspectives and voices would they be? Now, to help you do this, I'm going to create a part 2 of this episode where I'm going to guide you through this audit by basically doing my own audit. So I'm going to walk you through some of the negative voices and just a-holes that are on my mental board of directors. I listed them out. I gave them each a name. I described their personality and the things they typically like to say. And then I'm going to walk you through how I think about firing them from my mental board of directors and who I am constantly working to replace them with. So who are the positive, uplifting, encouraging voices that I cultivate on my mental board of directors? I want to do this so that you can see how to do this audit for yourself And so that you can get intentional about who gets voting power and who gets to sit on your mental board of directors. Because as you become more intentional about that, it becomes much easier for you to take powerful action and to unlock that access to your best, most confident self. So you absolutely must join me in part 2 of this episode series where we are going to do the audit. And there's a couple different ways that you can approach it. You can listen to part 2 more as entertainment, and you can just listen to my audit and some of the things that came up through it. Or you can do it alongside me. So you can pull up a pen and a paper, and either as you're listening or after you finish listening, you can do your own audit. It is going to help you cultivate a level of self-awareness that is going to support you in feeling more confident inside. I am so excited. So I will catch you in part 2. And as a final reminder, before I sign off, don't forget to add yourself to the Art of Speaking Up Academy waitlist, especially if this inner mindset work is something that you want to do more of. And if you really want to go deep in making the psychological and emotional shifts that are going to help you feel stronger from the inside out, that is a big emphasis inside of the Academy. And I have the skills and the training to really guide you through that process so that you can achieve the growth that you desire. To add yourself to the waitlist, click the link in the show notes or head to jessguzikcoaching.com/academy. And I will catch you in part 2. Bye.